For this one, a bronze bar is fastened between a steel bar and an aluminum bar as shown in the following figure. Axial loads are applied as indicated. Find the largest value of P that will not exceed an overall deformation of 3 mm. So meron po tayong overall deformation 3 mm. We also have the following stresses. 140 in steel, 120 in bronze, and 80 in aluminum. So if you have allowable stresses, what you need to do is to try all the allowable stresses, no? Consider all allowable stresses. Consider all allowable stresses. And consider also the allowable deformation. You just have to consider all the allowable po na nilagay, no? So first, let's consider steel. Considering steel, for steel, if we cut through steel, kapag nag-cut po ako sa steel dyan, so isolate natin yung steel. I have here force P, and this will be my PST, the force in steel. Force and steel. So summation ng forces horizontal, PST will just be equal to P. And based on the nature ng force, yung nature natin ng force, di ba, palabas, going away from the body. So this is actually tension. That is tension. Okay? So if that is tension, we can now consider the allowable stress in steel. Sabi po ng stress in steel, allowable stress in steel is actually 140. So consider natin yon. 140 is equal to P over A. But since this is megapascal, I will multiply 1,000 to make it Newton, divided by the area. The area in steel is actually, area in steel is 480 mm squared. So what will be the value of P? What will be the value of P? I need someone to do the calculator po. Dito na lang ako magstay sa S7. S7, please answer. The value of P will be? Get your calculator. No? 67.2. I will consider right here. So this is, consider ko na lang left side. This is 3P. This is P. So this will be P bronze, assuming that is compression. So P bronze. No? This is P. Okay. This is P. So summation ng forces horizontal. So that is negative P plus 3P minus P bronze. Minus P bronze is equal to 0. Minus P bronze is equal to 0. So I can now solve for P bronze, that is equal to 2P. And since I assume that yung bronze natin is going towards the object, it's actually going towards the object. So yung bronze will be compression. Okay? This is compression. Compression. And then, substituting the allowable stress in bronze, allowable stress in bronze is 120. So 120 is equal to P, 2P times 1,000 divided by the area ng bronze, that is 650. So I can now calculate for P. P is what? (39 kilonewton). Okay. Let's consider the aluminum. This will be 2P. And then this will be P aluminum. So summation ng forces horizontal, that will be so let's consider aluminum naman po. Now let's consider aluminum. So for aluminum, you can see that P aluminum, summation ng forces horizontal, P aluminum is equal to 2P, and that is actually in tension. P aluminum is in tension. So, considering the allowable stress po natin sa aluminum is 80. So, we have 80 is equal to 2P multiplied by 1,000 divided by sa area, that is 320. Solving for the value of P, that will be 12.8 kilonewton. No? So, that is 12.8 kilonewton. So, we already consider all the allowable stresses. Na-consider na natin lahat ng allowable stresses. Let's just consider the allowable deformation. Allowable deformation naman po, no? Let's consider the allowable deformation. So for the allowable deformation, that will be the delta total. Delta total will be equal to the deformation ni steel plus deformation ni aluminum plus deformation ni bronze, no? Or pag sunod-sunod rin natin, para hindi po kayo malito, that will be the deformation ni bronze plus deformation ni aluminum. So you already know that ito pong deformation is just PL over AE, no? PL over AE. Ito rin PL over AE lang yan. This is also PL over AE. So diretso ko na, no? However, kapag po nagka-calculate tayo ng deformation, if the force is actually in tension, magkakaroon tayo ng elongation. But if the force is actually compression, magkakaroon tayo ng shortening o liliit po yung ating member. This is actually shortening. Okay? So, if ilalagay natin si tension as positive, yung compression dapat negative. Kasi nga, shortening yung nangyayari. Hindi siya umahaba, umiikli siya. Okay? So, in our case, our delta total is 3 millimeter. Deformation steel is equal to P steel, but P steel is equal to P. P steel is equal to P, that is in tension. So, P times the length. Length of steel, that is 1 meter. So, multiply by 1,000 divided by area. The area of steel is 480. And this is equal to E steel, that is 200 GPa. So, 200 GPa. So, in this case, my P is actually in kilonewton. So, kung naka-kilonewton, kailangan ko po maglagay ng times 10 raised to 3 to make it newton. Yung 200 ko, naka-GPa, so kailangan ko maglagay ng times 10 raised to 3 to make it megapascal. However, magka-cancel lang po yung dalawa. Magka-cancel lang. So, I don't have to write it anymore. No? So, basta po, nagkakaintindihan tayo that our force is in kilonewton. Your E, elastic modulus, should be in gigapascal. Para po, okay yung ating sign notation. Okay? Then, the next one. Okay, the length of the steel is 1 meter. And then po si bronze natin, the bronze will be 2 meter. The bronze will be 2 meter. So that is, since bronze is actually compression, magne-negative po tayo. Minus, the bronze is 2P times the length. The length is 2 meter. So that is 2,000 divided by the area of the bronze. The area of the bronze is 650 times the elastic modulus. Elastic modulus is 83 gigapascal. Negative kasi po compression. And then we have plus. Si aluminum naman po, si aluminum is 2P rin. That is 2P. Multiply by the length, 1,500. Divided by the area. The area of aluminum is 320. Multiply by elastic modulus ni aluminum. That is 70. So you can now solve for P. The value of P will now be, what's the value of P? The value of P is 42.73 kilonewton. So you now have three values of P. Meron kang tatlong values. For deformation, you have 1 for deformation, you have 1 for allowable stress ni aluminum, allowable stress ni bronze, saka allowable stress ni steel. Again, you have to pick the lowest value. You have to pick the lowest value. The lowest value is 12.8. So the final answer will be governing. The governing one will be the 12.8 kilonewton. The governing value is 12.8 kilonewton. Okay? Okay. Let me just repeat this one for S7. No? Medyo nahuhuli kasi yung isa kong section na yan. So the rigid bars A, B, and C, D are supported by pins A and C, and the two rods determine the maximum force speed that can be applied as shown if its vertical movement is limited to 5 millimeter. Neglect all weight of all members. No? So first thing to do here is to draw the deformation. Lagi pong ganon, no? So if you are given a problem, you just have to draw the deformation. So coming from this force P, kapag nag-apply po tayo ng force P, according to the problem, the deformation here is limited to 5 millimeter. That is limited to 5 millimeter. So if you are going to draw the deformation, this will be my deformation. This will be the deformation due to aluminum. Deformation due to aluminum, and this is the deformation Y. So if we take out this triangle, kapag kinuha po natin yung triangle na yan, this will be the triangle. You have the deformation due to aluminum, and this is Y. This is 3 meters, this is 3 meters. And if that's the case, I can do ratio and proportion. Ratio and proportion, deformation ni aluminum divided by 3 is equal to Y divided by 6. So solving for Y, we can just say na yung Y natin will be twice ni deformation ni aluminum. And then, because of the deformation, magde-deform din tong baba. Ito pong baba na magde-deform din yan. And the deformation here will now be the deformation ni aluminum, twice deformation ni aluminum, yung sinolve po natin, this one, plus the additional deformation due to steel. Then we can now take out this triangle. Meron naman po tayong isang triangle. This triangle will now be, this is 5 millimeter, and this is twice deformation ni aluminum plus deformation ni steel. And based on this, we can now do ratio and proportion again. Ratio and proportion na naman po tayo. So 5/3 is equal to twice deformation ni aluminum plus deformation ni steel divided by 6. So our deformation equation now will just be 10. 10 is equal to twice deformation ni aluminum plus deformation ni steel. So this is our deformation equation. So substitute na po natin. This is just PL over AE, no? PL over AE. This is also PL over AE. So that will be 10 millimeter is equal to twice times the P aluminum times the length. The length of aluminum is 2 meters, so that is 2,000. Divided by the area of aluminum, that is 500, multiplied by E ni aluminum, that is 70. Okay? Again, kapag po si aluminum naka-kilonewton, if this is in kilonewton, and yung elastic modulus mo naka-GPa, hindi ko na kailangan mag-multiply ng times 10 raised to 3. Kasi yung kilonewton, kapag nag-multiply ako ng times 10 raised to 3, it will just be Newton. Then yung gigapascal, pag nag-multiply ako ng times 10 raised to 3, it will be megapascal. So magka-cancel lang po yung times 10 raised to 3, so hindi ko na isusulat, no? Basta alam natin that our P aluminum is actually in kilonewton. Plus, add po natin yung deformation ni steel. The deformation of steel will be P steel multiplied by the length, which is also 2,000, divided by the area, that is 300, multiplied by the elastic modulus. The elastic modulus is 200, so multiply by 200. So, we cannot solve the problem kasi po dalawa pa yung variable natin. We have P aluminum and P steel. But we can solve for the forces just by using equilibrium equation, no? So, if we isolate CD natin, isolate CD, if we take out this member, if we isolate CD, that will be this bar, you have the force P, and then you have here P steel. This is 3 meters, this is 3 meters. So, summation ng moment at C is equal to 0. That will be P multiplied by 3 minus P steel multiplied by 6 is equal to 0. You can now solve for P steel. P steel will now be 0.5 of P. 0.5 of P. And if I isolate AB, if I isolate AB, this will be P aluminum. This is P steel. P steel. But I already know that P steel is equal to 0.5 of P. 0.5 of P. 0.5 of P. So this is 3 meters. This is 3 meters. I can take the summation ng force, summation ng moment at A. Summation ng moment at A is equal to 0. So that is P aluminum times 3 negative plus P steel, which is also equal to 0.5 of P multiplied by 6 is equal to 0. I can now solve for P aluminum, which is equal to 0, P. 0.5 times 6, that is 3, no? Magiging 3 lang din. This will just be 3. So, P aluminum is P, and P steel is 0.5 P. If we substitute that into our equation, balik tayo dito sa equation natin, this will now be, P aluminum is now equal to P, and P steel will now be equal to 0.5 of P. We can now calculate for the value of P, which is equal to 76.3. 76.3 kilonewton. Okay? So that is how you solve this problem. Okay, for S1, I think san po tayo natapos sa S1? Ilagay ko na din sa inyo. Saan tayo natapos sa S1? This one ba? Where did we end sa S1? I think dito. Tama ba? Sa 3 meter bar, bronze bar. Tama po ba? Is that correct? This is where we end last time. Okay, so ilagay ko na sa inyo. No? So we have, we end with this last time. So we already know yung deformation due to temperature. Okay. So how about if we have a compound bar, no? If we have a compound bar composed of 3 segments, which is initially stress-free, compute the stress in each material if the temperature drops 25 degrees Celsius. Assume that the walls do not yield. So let's say you have a compound bar. So ito po yung compound bar natin. You have a bronze segment. So you have a bronze. So you have also a aluminum segment. So let's say this is aluminum. And you have a steel segment. This is the steel segment. Let's say that is the steel. And they are actually confined in rigid walls. Na confined daw po sa rigid walls. So, compute the stress in each material if the temperature drops 25 degrees Celsius. Oh, so if nagkaroon ng temperature drop, what will happen to our material? Magkakaroon po ng contraction, di ba? So magkakaroon ng negative change in the length. Negative change of length. So, magkakaroon ng contraction, ibig sabihin, iikli yung ating material. So, for the steel, kapag po nag-contract si steel, assume that walang wall doon. Kapag walang wall doon, magde-deform siya freely. So, kapag nag-deform siya freely, this will be the deformation of the, magde-deform po yung steel natin due to temperature. Deformation due to temperature ng steel. And then, magde-deform din yung aluminum natin due to the temperature. So, kasi magko-contract din po yan. So, deformation due to temperature ni aluminum. As I've said, kapag po gumagawa ng deformation equation, ang kailangan nyo lang i-drawing. No? I-drawing nyo lang ng maayos. And then si aluminum, let's say this is our aluminum, magde-deform din po yan. Magde-deform, deformation. Lastly pala kay bronze, magde-deform din yan. Deformation ni bronze. So, that is our deformation due to, ito po, due to temperature. Temperature po yan, temperature. Deformation due to temperature. Kaya lang, because of the wall, because of the reaction ni wall, may reaction po tayo kay wall, hindi yan gagalaw. So, si reaction sa wall, which is, let's say, force P, reaction sa wall, force P, ang gagawin po niya, ibabalik niya yung mga deformation, mga contraction. So, magkakaroon tayo dito ng deformation due to bronze, deformation ni bronze due to force P, deformation ni steel due to force P, and then deformation ni aluminum. Actually, unahin natin si aluminum na. Deformation ni aluminum due to force P, and deformation ni steel due to force P. So, ibabalik niya. Okay? So, as I've said last time, kapag po may ganitong mga problem, you just have to i-equate mo lang yung dimension. So, as you can see, our deformation equation will be the deflection due to temperature, deformation due to temperature ni bronze, plus deformation due to temperature ni aluminum, plus deformation due to temperature ni steel is equal to the deformation ni bronze due to force P, plus deformation ni aluminum due to force P, plus deformation ni steel due to force P. Okay? So, basically, you just have to equate them together, no? So, sagutan na po natin. So, change in temperature ni bronze, that will be alpha L, change in T. So, the alpha ni bronze, that is 19 times 10 raised to negative 6. Ang length natin kay bronze, the bronze is 800. Change in temperature, that is 25. Plus, kay aluminum, that is 23 times 10 raised to negative 6. Multiply by the length. Length ni aluminum, 500. Multiply by the change in temperature, 25. Plus, alpha ni steel naman, kay steel, that is 11.7 times 10 raised to negative 6. The length po ni steel, that is 400. And then the change in temperature, 25. This is equal to the change in length due to the forces, due to the reaction, no? Change in length due to the reaction. So that will be due to force P, multiply mo sa length ni steel, PL over EE muna tayo, PL over EE. Unahin na po natin si bronze. P bronze, multiply by the length ni bronze, that is 800, divided by A, area is 2,000, and then E is 83. Plus, P aluminum, multiply mo sa length, that is 500, divided by the area is 1,400 times E, 70. Plus P steel, multiply by the length, that is 400, area is 800, and E is 200. So, Actually, from this equation, you cannot solve the problem pa. Hindi mo pa kayang isolve si problem. Kasi nga, sir, tatlo yung unknown ko. Tatlo yung unknown. We have P bronze, we have P aluminum, saka P steel. P bronze, P aluminum, saka P steel. What you need to do is yung ginagawa po natin from the first problem, ang ginawa po natin doon is we cut and isolate. Kapag nag-cut ako kay bronze, kapag nag-cut ka kay bronze, no? Let me go to the next slide. Kapag nag-cut ako kay bronze, let's say I isolate bronze. Kapag nag-isolate ako kay bronze, meron ako ditong reaction P, and this is my P bronze. Okay? So you can notice na yung P bronze mo is just equal to P. And then kapag nag-cut ako kay aluminum, isolate aluminum. So isolate ka ng aluminum, magiging ganito lang po, no? Meron ka ditong force P, meron ka ditong P aluminum. You can also see that P aluminum is equal to P. P lang din, no? So kapag in-isolate mo rin si steel, if you cut sa steel, cut mo si steel, no? So, ganito po yan. Cut natin si steel. Isolate steel. You can notice, meron kang force P dito, and then dito rin po, P steel. So, P steel is equal to P. So, basically, the forces is actually equal to force P. So, pwede po nating substitute, this is equal to P, this is also equal to P, this is equal to P. We can now solve for the force P. Ano po yung force P natin? What is our force P? Can you try to calculate? Try to calculate, please. Mas maganda po dito, store nyo na lang. Store nyo sa letter. Actually, yung temperature, pwede mo naman ma-solve yan agad. Store mo na lang sa A. 19 times 10 raised to negative 6. The answer is 63.16. 63.16 kilonewton. Okay? Tinatanong, what is the stress in each material? But basically, the stress will now be stresses will be the stress in bronze, that will be 63.16 times 1,000 divided by the area ni bronze, that is 2,000. Stress ni aluminum, that is 63.16 times 1,000. Ilan po yung stress ni bronze? Ilan yung stress ni bronze? It's 1,4. This is 31.58 megapascal. The next one, that is 45.11 megapascal. And the other one, 78.95 megapascal. Okay, so ganun lang po siya kadali, no? So let's have a variation in the problem. What if meron akong external forces? Let's say meron akong external forces, no? So maglagay tayo ng variation sa problem. Let's say meron ka ditong, let's say this is 3P. And let's say meron ka ditong naka-apply na 2P. Okay? Nakita ba 'yon? Nakita po? Okay. So meron kang 3P, meron kang 2P. So how are you going to calculate for P bronze, P aluminum, and P steel? Again, meron pa rin po tayong temperature drop. We still have temperature drop. What you need to consider is, ang gagawin ko po, if I will isolate P steel, lagay ako ng another slide, no? So let's say you have I-drawing ko na lang ulit. So, let's say this is our assembly. Tapos, aside from temperature drop, meron kang temperature drop. Ang temperature drop mo, 25 degrees Celsius. Aside from that, meron ka pang external forces. Meron kang external forces. Let's say this is 20 kilonewton. And then, meron ka ditong 30 kilonewton. Yan. So, this is, let's say this is bronze. This is aluminum. Okay, so this is bronze, this is aluminum, and this is steel. No? So meron kang external forces. No? How are we going to solve this problem? Ganun pa rin po, ang gagawin nyo, if you isolate this, so meron ka po ditong P reaction. So sabihan natin P. So actually, patension dapat to, no? Patension kasi temperature drop. So meron kang force P. Pag in-isolate mo si steel, isolate steel. Kapag in-isolate mo si steel, ang makikita mo, meron ka ditong force P na galing sa reaction, meron ka ditong PST due to steel. So you can now solve that the reaction is equal to PST. The reaction is actually equal to P steel. And then, if you isolate aluminum, if you isolate aluminum, that will be like this one. So meron ako ditong P, pero yung P reaction ko, di ba, I already calculated that this is actually P steel. This is actually P steel. That is just P steel. And then meron po ako ditong 20 kilonewton. And this is my P aluminum. P aluminum. So assuming tension, so kung tension going away from the member. So summation ng forces, that will be negative P aluminum minus 20 plus P steel is equal to 0. I can now solve for P aluminum, that is equal to P steel minus 20. And then, kapag in-isolate ko po si bronze, isolate bronze, ikakat ko kay bronze, like this, no? So, meron kang force P, meron ako ditong 20 kilonewton, meron ako ditong 30 kilonewton, and this is, let's say, this is P bronze. Again, tension, kasi nga po, assuming tension tayo, no? Assuming na binalik ni force P yung ating mga deformation. So that will be negative P bronze plus 30 minus 20 plus P is equal to 0. So I can now calculate for P bronze. P bronze is equal to P plus 10. P plus 10. But P is actually equal to P steel. So P steel lang to, no P steel. This will be P steel plus 10. So, nakalculate ko na lahat ng forces in terms of P steel. Do you agree? Nakalculate ko na po lahat ng forces in terms of P steel. Then, I will just substitute this to my equation. Masosolve ko na si P steel. Kapag nasolve mo na si P steel, you can now solve for P bronze, P aluminum, and you can now solve for P bronze saka P aluminum. Again, kapag po meron tayong external forces, ang kailangan nyo lang, isolve mo in terms of one variable. And that variable, yung usually, yan yung member sa dulo. Kung P steel, sinolve ko sila lahat in terms of P steel. Is that clear? Okay lang po yan. So I can now solve, if I substitute this to my equation, pag sinubstitute ko yan dito, masosolve ko na yung P steel. Tama ba? Do you agree? Do you agree that I will solve P steel kapag sinubstitute ko siya dito? Yes, di ba? So if I solve P steel, kapag na-solve ko na si P steel, I can now solve for P aluminum. Do you agree? P steel minus 20 lang. Masosolve ko na si P aluminum kapag nasolve ko si P steel. Masosolve ko na rin si P bronze. And then you can now solve the problem. So, kinuwento ko na lang, no? Kinuwento ko na lang kapag merong external forces. Okay? If you have external forces. Okay, let's now go to torsion. Let's now go to torsion. So, torsional stress is actually given as, T rho over J. T rho over J, given that T is actually the applied torsion. T is the applied torsion. Rho is the distance from the center to the extreme fiber, or to the point in question. And J is the polar moment of inertia. This is the polar moment of inertia. Polar moment of inertia. The polar moment of inertia is just, yung polar moment po natin, hindi po yan yung moment of inertia. Ang polar moment is Ix plus Iy. Ix plus Iy. So, given a circle, kapag po yung circle, ano po yung Ix natin kapag circle? That is pi over 64 d raised to the fourth. So, ang polar moment po niya, that will be pi over 64 d raised to the fourth. That is for Ix. Ang Iy niya, pi over 64 din, kasi nga circle. So, plus pi over 64 d raised to the fourth. You will have the polar moment of inertia as pi over 32 d raised to the fourth. No? That is for circle. That is for circle. And J is actually the distance from the center to the point in question. Bakit? If you have a circle, the distribution of stress is actually linear. It's like this. Okay? So the maximum stress is actually located at the extreme fiber. This is the max stress. And zero stress is actually located at the center. This is zero stress. Zero stress is located at the center. So habang lumalayo ka sa center, lumalaki yung stress. The maximum stress is located at the extreme fiber. So yung rho, the value of rho, this one, the value of rho, is just the distance from the center to the point in question. Kung ang tinatanong po is, let's say this one, that is here. Ito po yung rho, no? This is the value of rho. That is the value of rho. So kapag ang tinatanong, what is the maximum torsional stress? Kapag max stress, the value of rho, max stress, the value of rho will just be the radius. Again, kapag maximum stress po yung tinatanong, the value of rho will be the radius. Kapag certain point lang, the value of rho will be the distance from the center going to that point. Okay? So, to calculate also for the angle of twist, when we say angle of twist or theta, the angle of twist is given as TL over JG, where T is actually the torsion, L is the length, T is the torsion, ito po, this one is the torsion, L is the length, J is the polar moment of inertia, and G is the shear modulus. Okay? So, G is the shear modulus. Let's try to answer this problem. In this problem, if you saw double arrow, kapag po double arrow, it means torsion. Ibig sabihin ng double arrow, torsion yan, no? Torsion. Double arrow means torsion, and double arrow means na yung yung torsion mo is if you point your right arm into the direction of the arrow, kapag pinoint mo yung right arm mo sa direction ng arrow, ito po yung torsion. Ang tawag dyan, right hand rule. Sa right hand rule, kung nasan po yung right thumb mo, kapag tinuro mo sa direction ng arrow, ito po yung torsion mo, no? That is your torsion. Basically, our torsion is going this way. Papunta po dito yung torsion natin. Okay? So we also have our torsion here that is 2t. This is t, this is 2t. Okay? So, determine the maximum permissible value of t subject on the following condition. So, the same one that we are doing earlier, ang gagawin lang po natin, we need to consider all the following allowable stresses. So, consider po muna natin si steel. Consider steel. Kapag unahin po pala muna natin si aluminum. So, consider aluminum. If we consider aluminum, you just have to cut kay aluminum. Ika-cut mo lang si aluminum. So, if you cut kay aluminum, this will be what you're going to see. So, meron ka ditong T. So, aluminum, T-aluminum will kontra po si aluminum. So, basically, T-aluminum will just be equal to T. T-aluminum is equal to T. So, if we consider the maximum stress ni aluminum is 55 megapascal. So, shearing stress, aluminum is equal to 55 megapascal. That is equal to T rho over J. So, 55 megapascal is equal to T. The torsion is equal to, we still don't know. We are trying to solve for the torsion. But if the torsion is in kilonewton meter, kapag yung torsion natin naka kilonewton meter, I need to multiply this by times 10 raised to 6. Kasi nga po, basically, that will be 1 kilonewton is to 1,000 newton, and then 1 meter is to 1,000 millimeter. So, kailangan ko siyang i-multiply ng times 10 raised to 6 para maging newton millimeter. To make it newton millimeter. And then times the radius will be, the radius of aluminum is 20, kasi nga po 40. So, lagay ko na lang dito 40 over 2. 40 over 2 divided by the polar moment of inertia, pi over 32, 40 raised to the 4th. I can now solve for t. What's the value of t? What is the value of t? The value of t will be 0.6912 kilonewton meter. Okay? Consider naman po natin si steel. Let's consider steel. Consider steel, that will be, if I cut sa steel, kapag nag-cut po tayo kay steel, ito yon, no? So, I have here T. Meron ako ditong T. Meron ako ditong T. Meron ako ditong 2T. And those torsion are actually in the same direction. So, same direction lang, no? So, what will be my T steel? This one, T steel. So, by summation ng moment, or summation ng torsion, T steel will now be, so mag-a-add po, kasi same direction lang naman si 2T saka si T eh. Same direction. Because same direction, 2T plus T will now be 3T. Okay? 3T. And then, consider po natin si allowable stress ni steel, 83 megapascal. So, that is equal to 83 megapascal is equal to T rho over J. So, 83 is equal to T. That will be 3T. I need to multiply this by times 10 raised to 6. Multiply by the rho. The radius is 50 over 2. divided by the J, pi over 32, 50 raised to the fourth. What will be my value of T? What is the value of T? Value of T? The value of T will be 0.679. 0.679 kilonewton meter. 0.679 kilonewton meter. So I have here 69 saka 679. The other one will be the torsion. Consider naman po natin si torsion, no? Let's consider the torsion. Torsional stress, ang torsion or yung angle po, consider natin yung angle of rotation. Angle of rotation is limited to 6 degrees. So, in considering the angle of rotation, this is equal to deformation due to aluminum, deformation ni aluminum plus deformation ni steel. Kailangan nyo i-consider kung ano ba yung direction ng torsion. So, in our case, sa aluminum, ang direction po ni torsion is actually going this way. Going, let's say, going clockwise, no? So, kapag nag-cut tayo kay aluminum, ang direction po niya papunta dito. Okay? Pag nag-cut ka kay steel, ang direction po niya will be also going this way, no? Papunta rin po dito. So, because of the same direction, both of them will be positive. Mag-a-add. Kung naguguluhan ka po dyan, pwede rin ang gawin mo na lang, di ba, you consider it as double arrow. May double arrow ka po dito, no? Double arrow. Pwede rin na ang gawin mo na lang, ang aluminum mo, double arrow going this way. Yung kabila naman po, meron ka ditong double arrow, double arrow. So, yung aluminum sa steel, they are actually in the same direction. Same direction. Kung same direction, mag-a-add lang po yung rotation. Mag-a-add lang yung rotation. Same direction, the rotation will add. Pero kapag hindi sila same direction, magma-minus po yung ating rotation. Okay? So, the rotation will add. So, let's calculate na po para dito. So, 6 degrees is equal to deformation ni aluminum, rotation ni aluminum plus rotation ni steel. So, that will be, I need to convert the 6 degrees into radians. Lagi pong gagawin yon if the angle is not inside the trigonometric function, kailangan mong gawing radians. So, gawin natin radians, 6 times pi over 180 is equal to deformation ni aluminum, that is T aluminum. The length of aluminum 600 mm po yan, no? So that is 600. Multiply ko by times 10 raised to 6. Times 10 raised to 6 divided by JG. So J is pi over 32. The diameter is 40. 40 raised to the fourth. G is 28 times 10 raised to 3. Plus T steel. The length of the steel is 900. So 900 times 10 raised to 6 divided by pi over 32, 50 raised to the fourth, and G ni steel, that is 83. 83 times 10 raised to 3. So you can, substitute po natin, alam natin T aluminum is equal to T, and then T steel is equal to 3T, no? We can now solve for T. What's the value of T? Ang T aluminum natin, T, and T still is equal to 3T. No? What's the value of T? What's the value of T? What's the value here? Ano po nasolve dito? Zero 0.757? Parehas po ba? Okay, 0.0757. So you have now three answer. Tatlo po yung sagot natin. 757, 679, saka 6912. Which one is the governing value of T? Ano po ang governing natin? What will be the governing value of T? The lowest. Yung pinakamababa. Na? So we have 0.679. Governing will now be 0.679. Okay? The governing will now be 0.679. Now let's move on to flexural stress. Okay? For flexural stress, what you need to remember is for flexural stress, the formula is actually mc over I, where m is actually the moment applied perpendicular to the section. Perpendicular to the section. C is the distance from the neutral axis to the point in question. And I is the moment of inertia. So basically, kapag po sinosolve natin sa MC over I, usually you need to consider the sign convention. No? We have the sign convention. Sign convention. Kapag positive moment, ang nangyayari, yung beam mo nagkakaroon ng smiley. So yung moment mo pataas. So this is positive moment. Positive moment. Yung compression nasa taas, yung tension nasa baba kapag positive moment. Positive moment, no? Kapag negative moment naman, magkakaroon ka ng sad face and then yung moment mo going downwards. So the compression will be at the bottom, tension will be at the top. Okay? Ang palatandaan ko lang po dyan, kapag positive yung moment, yung arrow ko pataas. Kapag negative yung moment, yung arrow ko pababa. Okay? Sir, bakit kailangan ng ganyan? Kasi nga po, you need to understand kung nasan yung compressive stress sa tension stress, no? So suppose that you have a rectangular section. Kapag meron kang rectangular section, let's say this is your rectangular section, tapos meron ka po ditong moment, ano yung moment ko? Positive or negative? Based on the direction of the moment. Positive, negative? What do you think? Negative. Kasi po yung compression nasa baba, yung tension nasa taas, no? So, ang palatandaan ko po dito, kung nasaan yung arrow, yun yung compressive. Kung nasaan yung tail, yun yung tension. Okay? So, kung nasa baba yung compression, negative moment yun. That is correct. Negative moment yun. Na? So, negative moment. So, we have the compression at the top, compression at the bottom, tension at the top. So, ang mangyari, usually what we have is triangular distribution of stress. Meron kang triangular distribution of stress. So, this is actually the maximum flexural stress is located at the maximum fiber. And then, yung zero stress nasa center, no? Yung zero stress mo nasa center. So, in using the formula MC over I, so yung FB mo is equal to MC over I, ang C is the distance from the center to the point in question. Let's say, ang tinatanong lang po sa'yo, is, what is the stress? 100, let's say this is, sabihan natin this is 500, this is 250. Let's say, what is the stress at point C, which is 100 mm from the top? What will be the value of C? Ano po yung value ng, sabihan natin, what is the stress at point A? Gawin natin, this is point A. So what will be the value of C? Ano po ang value ng C natin? Coming from the neutral axis, going to the point A, ano po ang value niyan? That will be 250 minus 100, that is, coming from the center, going to the point in question, ano po ang value ng C? Again, paano po makukuha si C? Distance from the neutral axis. If this is the neutral axis, basically center lang yan, di ba? So, kung center yan, this is 250, this is also 250. So, coming from the neutral axis going to point A, that will be 150, correct? That is 150. 150. So, the value of C will be 150. Kapag ang tinatanong, what is the maximum flexural stress for FB max? Ang C natin will be coming from the neutral axis to the extreme fiber. So, let's say for example, for this example, no? Kapag ang tinatanong, what is the maximum maximum flexural stress, FB max, ano po ang gagamitin natin na C? What will be your C value kapag FB max yung tinatanong? Kapag FB max yung tinatanong, what will be your C value? Coming from the neutral axis, going to the farthest fiber, that will be 250. Okay? FB max, ang C mo will be 250. Okay? So, ganun lang po kadali. Ano? Ang mahirap lang dito, how to determine the moment. How to determine the moment. In determining the moment, ang gagamitin po natin, I'm sure you are very familiar with this, how to determine the moment, shear and moment diagram. Shear and moment diagram. Gamit tayo ng shear and moment diagram para ma-determine natin si moment. No? So, let's try to answer this one para po ma-review din natin yung shear and moment diagram. A simple beam AB of span 22 feet supports a uniform load of 1.5 kips per feet and a concentrated load of 12 kips. The uniform load includes an allowance for the weight of the beam. The beam is of laminated wood and has a cross-section of 8.75. So meron na po tayong section ng beam. Ang width niya 8.75 and the height is 27 inch. Determine the maximum bending stress in the beam. So ang tinatanong niya, what is FB max? So para makuha si FB max, kailangan mo ma-calculate yung maximum moment. Ano ba yung maximum moment? So to calculate for maximum moment, calculate natin yung shear and moment diagram. First, calculate the reaction. Calculate muna natin yung mga reaction. This is RA, this is RB. Summation ng moment at A is equal to 0. That will be 12 multiplied by 9 plus 1.5 times 22 multiplied by 22 over 2. Kasi nga po, nasa gitna, no? 22 over 2. Minus reaction at B times 22. So what will be the reaction at B? What is the reaction at B? $21.41 or 21.409, sige. 21.409 kips. And summation ng forces vertical is equal to 0. So that will be RA plus RB minus 12 minus 1.5 times 22 is equal to 0. We all know that RB is equal to 21.49 at 21.409. So what will be RA? Ano po yung RA natin? $23.591. 23.591. So we can now create the shear diagram. Naalala pa po ba yung shear diagram? Kapag yung point load mo pataas, so magdodrawing ka lang po pataas, kapag meron kang uniform load, triangular. Kapag uniform load, triangular, no? So, una, pataas po muna tayo, pataas muna. Paakyat muna, that is 23.591. This is 23.591. This is 21.409. So dito, 23.591. And then, meron po tayong uniform load. So meron kayo uniform load pababa. Para makalculate to, that is 23.591 minus 1.5 times 9. Ilan po yung sagot? What will be the answer? So we have 10.091. And then bababa, because of the point load, minus 12, no? Minus 12. This is 1.909. So basically, this point will be 10.091 minus 12. This is equal to negative 1.909. Okay? And then uniform load ka ulit, pababa. This point load will now be negative 1.909 minus 1.5 times 22 minus 9. That is 13, no? So this is 13 multiplied by 13. That is equal to 21.409. So basically, ito na po yung shear diagram natin. No? This is our shear diagram. And para makalculate po si moment diagram, naalala pa ba, si moment diagram will be the area ng shear diagram. No? So area lang po ng shear diagram yon. So area ng shear diagram, basically, para po makuha natin yung value, kailangan mo lang kunin yung area ni shear diagram. And kapag yung load mo pababa, if the load is actually going downwards, ang curvature mo ng moment pababa. Kapag yung load mo pataas, ang curvature mo ng moment pataas din. Clear po ba doon? Kapag yung load mo pababa, ang curvature ng moment pababa din. Kapag yung load mo pataas, ang curvature ng moment pataas din. Okay? So dahil pababa yung load natin, this will be our moment and the maximum moment will be equal to the area of this part, that is 1/2 of 23.591 plus 10.091 multiplied by the length. The length is 9. So multiply by 9. What's the moment? (151.569 pounds feet. Kips feet, sorry. Kips feet, no? Naka-kips pala to. Kips feet. Okay? 151.569 kips feet. And then, if I get the area at the bottom, pag tinuloy ko po yan, tinuloy ko yung curve, magko-close yan, no? Check lang natin kung magko-close. So, 151.569 minus the area of this. That is 1/2 of 1.909 plus 21.409 multiplied by 13. So, I think magko-close naman yan to 0, no? So, based on our moment diagram, the maximum moment is actually 151.569. Okay? So, our maximum moment is equal to 151.569 kip feet. Okay? So, based on that, to calculate for the flexural stress, meron naman po tayong section according to the problem. Meron kang 8.75 inches and the height of the member is 27 inches. So to calculate for the bending stress, FB, that is equal to MC over I. The moment is 151.569. Take note, naka-kips feet yan, no? So para po maging inches, multiply ko ng 12 to convert feet to inches. So, times 12. Multiply ko ng C. What will be our C value kapag maximum po? That will be 1/2 of 27. Tama? 27 over 2. Divided by the I is 8.75. BH cube over 12. So, 8.75 times 27 cube over 12. What is FB? What is FB? Maximum flexural stress is what? 1.71 KSI. So that is our FB max. Okay? Next one. Sir, paano kung nakalimutan ko na mag-shear and moment diagram? Kung nakalimutan mo na mag-shear and moment diagram, you could use cut isolate. Pwede naman po yung cut isolate. If you still remember that in theory of structures, kapag meron ka pong point load, usually the maximum moment is also at the point load. Usually andito rin po yung max moment. Andyan din yung max moment. So kapag nag-cut ka dyan, kapag in-isolate natin yan, na-isolate mo yung member, no? You have the reaction. The reaction is 23.591. And then this will be our moment, M max. This is 1.5. This is 9 feet, no? You can calculate for moment maximum by just taking the moment. Mag-moment ka lang po dito sa point na to. Sa kung saan ka nag-cut, no? Take the moment here. Take the moment here. So mag-moment ka lang, that will be 23.591 multiplied by 9 minus 1.5 times 9 times 9 over 2. So what will be our moment max? Ano po moment natin dyan? What is the moment maximum? Parehas pa rin, tama? 151.569. Tama ba? Keep fit. Okay. So, basically, you can use cut isolate or pwede ka rin mag-shear and moment diagram, no? Do you remember na nasan po yung point of maximum moment? Where is the point of maximum moment? Where is the point of maximum moment? Nasan po yung point ng maximum moment? Naalala ba yung sagot dito? This is at the point of zero shear. Kapag zero yung shear, maximum yung moment. Okay? Naalala ba yan? Kapag zero yung shear, maximum yung moment. Kaya po, kapag meron kang point load, usually, the position of the point load is also the location of the maximum moment. Again, the position of the point load is also the position of the maximum moment. So it is also important to remember some basic formulas, especially kung simply supported lang naman. Let's say, for example, you have a simply supported beam. Ano po ang maximum moment dito? What is the maximum moment? WL squared over 8. Kapag meron ka pong point load, P, this is L, so maximum moment will be PL over 4. Kapag meron kang cantilever, this is WL, maximum moment will be WL squared over 2. Kapag meron kang point load, P, this is L, the maximum moment will be PL. Okay? So it's also important to be aware of those very basic formulas to calculate for the maximum moment. No? Para po mas mabilis nating ma-solve yung problem. Ito po, itong method na to, this is the method of cut isolate. If you still remember, cut isolate. Cut isolate. So, question, sir, paano kapag tatlo yung point load? Ano yung gagawin ko? Kapag tatlo yung point load, what will be the maximum moment? Paano ako magka-cut isolate? Let's say, for example, tatlo po yung, you have the uniform load, tapos tatlo yung point load mo. You have 3-point load. Sir, saan yung maximum moment? What you can do is to draw the shear diagram muna. I-drawing mo muna yung shear diagram. Let's say ganito. And then, kung saan po nag-zero yung shear diagram, if saan nag-zero yung shear diagram, dyan ka mag-cut. I-cut mo para makuha mo yung moment. Okay? This will be the location of max moment. Naintindihan ba yon? You can draw the shear diagram first. I-drawing mo muna yung shear diagram. Kung saan nag-zero yung shear, nandun yung maximum moment. Tapos, para makuha po si maximum moment, you just cut and isolate. Cut, isolate. Is that clear? Clear ba yon? Okay. Let's try to answer this one. Let's say, for example, this. A simply supported beam of rectangular cross-section carries a distributed load of 3 kilonewton meter. So this is actually 3 kilonewton per meter. Determine the largest allowable value of P if the bending stress is not to exceed 10 megapascal. So ano daw po yung largest allowable value ng P? So first, I need to solve for the reaction. Reaction C muna tayo. Let's solve for reaction C. Meron ako reaction A. So summation ng moment at A is equal to 0. So I don't have the value of P. So kailangan ko i-solve si reaction in terms of P. No? So that will be 3, multiply ko by 5, multiply ko by 2.5, plus P, multiply ko by 4, minus reaction sa C, multiply by 5 is equal to 0. Solving for the reaction at C, that will be basically 4P plus 3 times 5, that is 15 times 2.5, 37.5, divided by 5. Is that correct? Tama po ba yan? Yeah. So that's correct, no? RC will be 4P plus 37.5 divided by 5. So ang gagawin ko, since I know that this is the location of the point load, so andito rin po yung maximum moment. So this is the maximum moment, max moment location. So what I will do, magka-cut na lang po ako dito. Mag-cut na lang ako dyan. Cut isolate. Cut isolate. So mangyari, meron po akong uniform load na 3 kN. And then, meron ako ditong reaction. Meron ako reaction na 4P plus 37.5 divided by 5. And this is my moment. And then, to calculate for the maximum moment, mag-moment lang po ako sa kinat ko. Moment lang tayo. So, that will be 4P plus 37.5 divided by 5 divided by, multiply by, the length is 1 meter. So, multiply by 1 minus 3 multiply by 1 times 0.5. So the moment will now be 4P plus 37.5 divided by 5 minus 1.5. So that is my maximum moment. Ito na po yung maximum moment ko. Max moment. Yan na yung max moment natin. Okay? Nag-moment lang ako dun sa kinat ko. Kinat ko, in-isolate, nag-moment ako dun sa kinat natin. Okay? Then, let's solve for the value of P given that it will not exceed 10 megapascal. So according to the problem, ang FB max natin is 10 megapascal. So this is equal to MC over I. Ang section po natin is what? The section is 120 by 400. So FB max will be 10. The moment is, what is our moment? This one, the whole value. The whole value of the moment is 4P plus 37.5 divided by 5 minus 1.5, multiply ko by the C value. The C value is 400 divided by 2, that is 200. C value is 200. And then I will multiply this by times 10 raised to 6. Bakit? Para po yung moment, to convert the moment to Newton millimeter. To convert the moment to Newton millimeter. So kaya ako nag-multiply ng times 10 raised to 6. Divided by I, that will be base times height cube over 12. I can now solve for P. What's the value of P? I can now solve for P. What's the value of P? $32.5. 32.5. Okay? So again, you can use yung cut isolate, no? Kung nasan po yung point load, i-cut mo doon, then take the moment, you will get the maximum moment. Cut isolate method, no? Okay. Next topic will be horizontal shearing stress. For the horizontal shearing stress, basically, if you have a rectangular beam, what you need to remember for horizontal shearing stress is VQ over IB, where V is actually the shear, Q is the moment of area, bounded by the point in question and the extreme fiber. Imo-moment po natin, moment of area from the neutral axis na lang po. No? Singit ko na lang dito. Moment of area from the neutral axis. Moment of area from the neutral axis of the area bounded by the point in question and the extreme fiber. Of the area bounded by the point in question and the extreme fiber. Yan po yung Q. I is the moment of inertia. And B is the width of the point in question. Width of the point in question. VQ over IB. No? So, actually, ang mahirap lang po dito, yung Q. Usually, the students nahihirapan lang po sa moment of area. So, let's say, for example, this is, again, 500 to. O, gawin natin 600. This is 150. And then, this is the neutral axis. Ang pinapahanap sa inyo, what is the Q? At what is the shearing stress at point A? Point A is 100 mm from the top. So, what is the Q? Ang gagawin nyo lang po, that is the moment of area bounded by the top part or bounded by the extreme fiber and the point in question. Ito po yung area natin. Imo-moment natin sa neutral axis. So, solve nga po natin si Q. That will be 150, the width, multiplied by the height, 100. Imo-moment natin yan sa neutral axis. Gaano kalayo yan sa neutral axis? Coming from the neutral axis, going to the center of the area. Gaano po kalayo? From the neutral axis, going to the center of the area. Gaano kalayo? Again, from the neutral axis, going to the center of the area, gaano kalayo? That will be 300. Hindi 300 lang po ito eh. 300 minus kalahati ng 100, so 250, di ba? 250. So, multiply by 250. Okay? So, kapag ang tinatanong, what is the maximum shearing stress for max shear stress? For max shear stress, you need to consider the whole area. Consider the whole area bounded by the neutral axis and the extreme fiber. So, kapag po maximum yung tinatanong, maximum shearing stress, consider the whole area bounded by the neutral axis and the extreme fiber. Okay? So, consider po natin, let's say for example, maximum yung hinahanap, no? Punta tayo dun sa kanina. Ito po, let's say maximum yung hinahanap. So, this is what? 150. This is 600. So, kapag maximum yung hinahanap, what will be your Q? Ano po yung Q natin? Pa-type nga po sa chat box, what will be your Q? Again, imo-moment nyo yung area bounded by the neutral axis and the extreme fiber, this one. Imo-moment natin sa neutral axis. So, this is 300. This is 150. Tama? So, this is 300 by 150. That is the area. Gaano kalayo po dito sa neutral axis? Yung center of area. going to the neutral axis. Gaano kalayo? 150, di ba? This is 150. 150. That is the Q kapag FB max. No? FV max, sorry. FV max. For FB maximum, dapat po yung ating area will be bounded by the neutral axis and the extreme fiber. That is because ang distribution po ng stress kapag shearing, ganito po yung distribution ng stress. The maximum stress is located at the neutral axis. And the stress at the extreme fiber is actually 0. Ang maximum stress natin nasa neutral axis. Okay? Clear po ba kung paano isolve si Q? Are we clear with Q? Moment of area? Are we clear kay Q? So what if we have a rectangular section lang? Rectangular section. This is B. This is D. So derive nga po natin kung paano, what is FB max. FB max muna. Flexural stress. That is MC over I, di ba? MC over I. The moment is M. What will be the C value kapag po rectangular? With the height of D. So magiging D over 2, di ba? The moment of inertia will be BD cube over 12. Dito po pumapasok, kapag rectangular, 12 over 2, that will be 6M over BD squared. Kasi magka-cancel po yung D. BD squared. This only is applicable for rectangle only, no? Rectangle only. Okay? How about for shearing? For shearing po, FB, VQ over IB. Ano yung V natin is basically V. Ano yung Q? That will be D over 2, B times D over 2, multiplied by D over 4, kasi kalahati, no? Coming from the neutral axis going to the center of area, this is D over 4, multiplied by D over 4, divided by I, BD cube over 12, times the width, which is B. So kapag nag-cancel po yan, cancel natin yung mga common, cancel si B, cancel si D, magiging D squared, magiging D na lang, no? So, 12 over 8, ang magiging FB natin will be 12 over 8, that will be 3V over BD. 3V over 2BD, 3 halves, no? 3 halves. 3 halves. 3V over 2BD. So, this is only applicable for rectangular. Actually, I don't memorize this formula. Ayoko niyan kasi nga po, bakit ko pa gagamitin yan kung kaya ko namang gamitin yung general formula? And the general formula is VQ over IB. So, I don't memorize yung formula ng rectangle. Maybe sa kayo, para po kung gusto niyo na mas mabilis mag-solve, but basically, parehas lang din naman po yan dun sa general formula. No? Let's try to answer this problem. No? Let's try to answer this problem. A metal beam is simply supported and sustain a uniform load of 160 pounds per inches, including its own weight. The beam is rectangular with a width of 1 inch and a height of 4 inch. So meron po tayong beam. Ang width niya 1 inches, saka ang height niya 4 inches. Determine the normal and shear stress at point C, which is located 1 inches below the top of the beam and 8 inches from the right support. So, gawin ko na lang pong inches to. So, if that is 3, magiging po siyang 3 times 12. This is 36 inches. So, I need first to calculate. Para po ma-solve natin yung FB saka FV at point C, you need to calculate for, step 1, calculate for M. calculate for moment at C saka shear sa C. Kailangan mo muna makuha ano ba yung moment sa point C, ano ba yung shear sa point C, no? Calculate for the shear and moment. Para ma-calculate yung shear at saka yung moment, what we need to do is to solve for the reaction and then cut isolate, no? Solve for the reaction muna. Solve for the reaction. This is RA, this is RB. Summation ng moment at A is equal to 0. So that is 160 multiplied by 36 multiplied by 36 over 2 minus RB. Actually, kahit pala hindi ko na-solve to, no? Simply supported. Kapag simply supported, ano po yung reaction sa support? Kapag simply supported. Di ba WL over 2 lang? Kasi uniform naman. Tama po ba? WL over 2 lang? Do you agree? Okay. So our reaction at B will be WL over 2. So that is W, 160. The length is 36 over 2. Ilan po ito? WL over 2, that is 2880, no? And then, if I cut isolate tayo, cut natin po sa point C. Meron tayong uniform load, 160 pounds per inches. And then, meron ako reaction na 2880. Andito na po si moment. This is our moment. Meron ako ditong moment. Meron din ako ditong shear. Moment sa point C, shear sa point C. So, for the moment at point C, that will be equal to 2880. Moment ko lang times, this is 8 inches, no? 8 inches. 2880 times 8 minus 160 times 8 times 8 over 2. What will be my moment? What is the moment at point C? (17,920) pounds inches, no? Pounds inches. To solve for the shear, for shear naman po, for shear, summation ng forces vertical, mag-summation ng forces vertical lang po kayo. Or basically, isum mo lang yung forces. So that will be VC is equal to 2880 minus 160 times 8. Ano po yung shear sa C? What is the shear at C? 1,600 pounds. Okay, so we already know na ang moment po sa point C, the moment at point C is equal to 17920. Ang shear naman sa point C is what? 1,600? 1,600 pounds. So what will be our FB muna? FB at point C. MC over I, di ba? So we have here, ang point C daw, according to the problem, point C is what? Point C is 1 inches from the top of the beam, no? So kapag dinrawing natin, exaggerate ko yung beam natin. So we have, this is 1 inches, this is 4 inches. Ang point C po natin is actually located 1 inches below the top of the beam. So this is 1 inch. Naintindihan ba yan? Yung point C is 1 inches below the top of the beam. Okay lang? Okay. So, let's calculate for the flexural stress. Ang flexural stress natin at point C will be the moment, 17920. What is the value of C? Ano po yung value ng C? Di ba ang value ng C coming from the neutral axis going to the point in question? Ano po ito? Tree ba? Mukhang magkakamali na sa prelim. 3 ba? Di ba 4 inches yan? So this will be 2 inches. So this is 1 inches, di ba? 1 lang. 1 inches. Multiply by 1 divided by I. Ano po I natin? Base times height cube over 12. So ano po yung FB? Yung 4 inches total height na yun, yung 4 inches total height na yun. So what is the stress? 3,360. To solve for the, ano naman po, to solve for FB, ano yung FB natin? VQ over IB. To solve for the shear stress. Shear stress, ano yung shear? 1,600. Ano yung Q? The Q will be, if this is our section, no? This is 1 inch, 4 inch. This is point C. Ang point C will be the area bounded by the point in question and the MAC extreme fiber. So, sabi natin, this is 1 inches, this is 1 inches also. So, what will be our Q? 1 times 1, and then the distance from the neutral axis going to the center of the area, that will be 1 plus 0.5, 1.5 times 1.5. Divided by I is 1 by 4 cube over 12 times the width, which is 1. So what is FB? Ano po yung FB natin? What is FB? (450 PSI). So this is the stress. This is the shear stress. Ito po yung shear stress and ito po yung bending stress. Okay? So far, clear po ba sa shear stress? Are we clear with shear stress? Are we clear with shear stress? Okay, let's go to the final topic, which is tangential and longitudinal stress in cylindrical vessel. Medyo mabilis lang naman to, no? So, basically, kapag po sinabi nating tangential stress, ito po yung tangential or yung tinatawag natin na, tinatawag din po natin itong circumferential. Ang nangyayari po dito is if you cut at the center, kapag nag-cut ka sa gitna, lalabas po itong nasa right side, no? Lalabas itong nasa right side. Meron kang resistance T due to the material itself kasi pinipigilan niya na mag-burst. Pinipigilan niya na mag-burst. So meron ka resistance T and meron kang pressure na nagko-cause ng bursting. The pressure is actually coming from force F. If you take the summation, that will be 2T is equal to F. And we already know na yung force due to the material, pwede nating isulat as T times the force due to the material, pwede nating isulat as stress multiplied by the area, di ba? So, isulat po natin, ang T natin will be the stress multiplied by the area. The area, ito pong area dito sa ilalim, if you can see, itong area. What is that area? Ano po yung area na yan? That will be the length multiplied by the thickness. Tama? So that is stress tangential times length times thickness. That will be our force, resistance. Ang pressure naman, force due to pressure will be pressure. Pressure is equal to force over the area. So mangyari, ang force mo will be pressure times the area. So pressure, ang area po natin, bounded by the area, ito. What is that area? Di ba ano po yan? Diameter multiply by the length. Diameter times length. So magka-cancel po si length, magka-cancel si length, cancel si length. That will be tangential stress is equal to PD over 2T. Naalala ba to? PD over 2T? Naalala yan? Okay. So, on the other hand, kapag naman po longitudinal stress, this is longitudinal stress. Ang bursting naman natin along the longitudinal. So, ang resistance ng ating material, the resistance of the material is along the circumference. Ito yung resistance ng material. Along the circumference, so meron akong resistance due to the material, labihan nating T pa din, and then you have the force due to pressure, you have force F. So, T is equal to F. T is equal to F. So, ang T natin ngayon, yung galing sa circumference, that will be the stress, longitudinal, multiplied by the circumference, that will be pi d, multiplied by the thickness, pi dt. Kasi nga po, along the circumference yung force natin eh. Along the circumference. And the force will be the pressure multiplied the circular area, pi over 4, diameter squared. Magka-cancel po si diameter. And you will left with the longitudinal stress is PD over 40. Okay? The critical stress, kapag tinanong po kayo, what is the critical between the two? What is the critical between the two? The critical is always the tangential. Ito po yung laging critical. Ito yung critical, yung tangential. So kapag sinabi po ng problem, for example, what is the maximum height of water such that it will not exceed the critical stress? Ang critical po lagi is the tangential stress. Again, the critical is the tangential stress. Because if you think about it, yung longitudinal stress, basically, ano lang po eh, the half of the tangential stress. Kalahati lang, di ba? Kasi over 4. Yung tangential over 2. Do you agree? So again, ang critical po natin will be the tangential stress. The critical is always the tangential stress. Let's try to answer this problem. A water tank 3 meter in diameter and 6 meter high is made from steel having a thickness of 12 mm. So meron ka raw pong water tank 3 meter in diameter and 6 meter high. Is filled with water, so puno ng tubig, no? Determine the longitudinal stress when the tank is filled with water. So una, hanapin muna natin yung pressure. Paano makukuha yung pressure gamit sa tubig? That will be gamma H. The pressure will be 9.81 times the height of the cylinder, that is 6. What is the pressure? What's the pressure? The pressure will be 58.86 kilopascal, no? Kilopascal. And then, to make it megapascal, gawin ko na lang 58.86 divided by 1,000, no? Megapascal. Para maging megapascal. And if I want to solve for the longitudinal stress or tangential stress muna, tangential PD over 2T, that will be 58.86 divided by 1,000 times the diameter. The diameter is 3,000 over 2 times the thickness. The thickness is 12. So what is our tangential stress? Tangential stress is what is the tangential stress? .36 megapascal. So if we want to solve for the longitudinal stress, basically parehas pa rin naman po, PD over 40, that is equal to 58.86 divided by 1,000 times diameter, 3,000, divided by 4 times the thickness, 4 times thickness, 4 times the thickness 12. What is the longitudinal stress? 3.68 megapascal. Question. If the circumferential stress is limited to 5 megapascal, what is the maximum height of water? No? So kung tinatanong po, height ng water, again, what is the critical stress? Ang critical stress po natin lagi is always the PD over 2T. Yan po yung critical. No? That is always the critical stress. So the pressure, kung hinahanap mo yung maximum height ng water, the pressure will be gamma H, which is equal to 9.81 times H. So substitute na po natin. Ang ating critical stress is limited to 5 megapascal lang. So 5 megapascal is equal to PD over 2T. The pressure will be 9.81 H divided by 1,000 to make it megapascal times the diameter. Diameter is 3,000. 2 times the thickness is 12. What is the height of water? What is the height of water? 4.08 meter. Okay? 4.08 meter. So that will be it, no? That will be it for strength of materials. Any question? S1, any question? Okay, so medyo nagtagal na ako, no? So I'll end the conference na po. So prepare for your prelim exam. That will be next week, Tuesday. Prelim po natin next week, Tuesday. Okay? So see you next week. Sige, sagutin muna natin yung tanong ni Liza, no? Ilang items daw. So basically, ang prelim po natin will be, if you think about it, ang board exam po, sa board exam, kailangan nyo pong magsagot ng 75 items in 5 hours. 5 hours. 5 hours, that is 300 minutes. So, kapag kinumpute nyo yan, 300 over 75, kailangan po nakakapagsagot ka ng you are required to answer the question for 4 minutes. 4 minutes per question lang po yan. So kasi meron ka pong 75 items for 300 minutes. So 4 minutes per question. So kung meron lang po tayong 2 hours, so 2 hours, actually dapat nga 4 minutes per question. So 2 hours, that is 120 minutes divided by 4, dapat 30 items, di ba? Dapat po 30 items. Kaya lang dahil po prelim pa lang naman, hindi pa kayo ganun masyadong prepared. So ginawa ko po, binaba ko to 20 items lang. So 20 items for 2 hours. 20 items for 2 hours, and the promise was kept. Yung promise po na sinabi ko sa inyo na, ayan, basta 20 items po. 20 items for 2 hours. Kung multiple choice, sa prelim nyo na po makikita. It's a surprise. Pwedeng hindi, pwedeng yes. So, surprise na lang muna, no? Basically, but you need to answer 20 items for 2 hours. Okay, so that will be all for today. Prepare for prelim. Madali lang po yan. Madali lang prelim, no? So, sige po. That will be all for today. See you next week.